other platforms, so hopefully this works. Good morning, happy Saturday. Now, this is a very unusual live from us at the Catalysts, but Sarah and I were talking about our upcoming podcast launch, and we were like, we wanted to give you a bit of an update and also keep the momentum going. So we don't normally go live over at the weekend, so I'm just about to go and buy my mother a cake. It's her retirement dinner tomorrow. And I am also going to take my little kiddies to see my brother. So I thought, let me get this done now before manicness starts. And excuse the mess behind me. It's Easter weekend and I am having a clear out in the office. So everything is all over the place. But good morning. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Kelly Walsh. Good morning, Tracy. So podcast. So if anyone has been hiding under a rock over the last week or so, you will know that we have a podcast coming out. It's the Coaching Catalyst podcast, and it is coming out on Wednesday, the 3rd of April. And the reason why I'm live today is to keep the momentum going, because we're going to be really honest. We actually had to push back our podcast launch, and this is part of the update, because we know it's half term and we try to make sure that we do minimal amounts of things in the half term in our business and only showing up in the collective, which is our coach development service and supervision for coaches. So that's the only thing we do during our half terms, and around that time we spend it with the kids. So we had to push our podcast launch back by a few weeks. So it wasn't actually meant to be in the half term. And it just so happens that we had to just keep pushing it back because life was happening. Kids were unwell. We were unwell. And we had other commitments to meet to. And we didn't actually realize as well how many steps go into podcast launching. So it's not ideal on a Saturday, and you'll get a pre-recorded live from me tomorrow, because I definitely won't be going live on Easter Sunday, but there will be a pre-recorded live going out just to keep the momentum going. Because for anyone who doesn't know, and again, this is for transparency, when you're doing launches, it's really important to be visible, right? There's no point in being quiet and then bringing out a thing into the world, whether it's a course or a program or an event or a retreat or a podcast, if you don't keep the momentum going. So for 5 minutes of my day, I think I can manage just to go live and say hello to you and just tell you what's been happening behind the scenes. So last week, Wednesday, we announced the trailer was live. And if you haven't checked out our trailer, please go onto your Apple podcast, your Spotify podcast, search for the Coaching Catalyst podcast, and please just listen to the trailer, click that follow button. And on Wednesday this week, we are actually launching 3 episodes in one go. So we have been behind the scenes batch recording the first few episodes, and we want you to listen to them so that you can tell us more of what you like, what you don't like, so that we can go into another batch session of recordings next month. So we're really excited for you to see that and for you to hear that. What we've been told by our podcast creators, our podcast team, is that it's really important for you to follow, to listen, and to download the podcast as well. So if you know of anyone that is a coach, if you're a coach yourself, if you are using coaching skills in your business or your work, I can see here Rebecca is there. Sue definitely is, because we're in supervision with you, Sue. So welcome, Kelly there. So if you know anything about podcast launching, you'll know that it's really important to kind of keep that momentum going and to press those follow buttons, to press those download buttons. But it's really important for us as well that our podcast gets into the right hands. So if you can share it with friends, family, colleagues, share it on your socials, we'd be really grateful. We're so grateful for the support that's happened so far. So thank you for that. So that's a bit of behind the scenes. It was never meant to be this week, but it is this week, and we're going to go with it. We're going to roll with it, and we're going to see how it goes. And so with that said, we also would love to invite you to our podcast party. And again, we know it's half term for some. So if you can't make it, thank you very much in advance for even just trying or thinking about it. It is also going to be on the same day as the launch, which is Wednesday the 3rd. And our podcast party is going to be at 1 p.m. That's UK time. So if you want to join our Zoom podcast party, just DM us or email the Coaching Catalysts, hello@thecoachingcatalyst.com with podcast party, and we will add you to the calendar invite. So I think that's enough. I think I need to take my kids out now. I think I've done my 5 minutes. So happy Easter Saturday. Happy Easter Sunday to you tomorrow. Happy long bank holiday weekend. And we will see you fully live on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. And here's to the podcast and here's to you all. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care.